Hello everyone, it's me, Andor, and just welcome you guys to Minecraft Monday. It's Monday, playing Minecraft. You know, when I first started um, wanting to stream, I made my Twitch channel and everything. Made a schedule and I was like, I'm gonna play Skyblock. You know, never get around to it, but now I'm here playing Skyblock and looking forward to talking about the Eclipse, as you guys can see in the title. Um, yeah, we'll just get right into it. You know, if you don't know Minecraft Skyblock, I've got shaders on, so it's pretty neat. There's some nice little shadows and everything. But yeah, so Skyblock essentially is where you are playing Minecraft, a sandbox game, but you have really limited yourself in what you can do. So you've got like a little L-shaped island, kind of, or like an arrowhead. You've got one tree. You've got a couple items in a chest. You've got some stuff over here. Well, actually, I guess you just have a cactus. Some maps have, Oh, apologies. I wonder what button I pressed to go back to my stream starting page. Apologies, folks. You've got a little island over here. Some maps have a little bit of chests on there, but I think that one is pretty much just sand and a cactus. Yeah, this is like the OG Skyblock map. I should probably get to work, chopping down some trees and whatnot before something bad happens. I.e., something like phantoms or anything else spawns. I mean, I think we'll get this place pretty lit up for the most part. For now, we're just gonna make ourselves a bit of a pickaxe. Also, I'm gonna just make a quick little cobblestone generator. That's how we're gonna get most of our blocks in this series, is a little bit of ice and lava combined to make a little bit of magic. Yeah, so I guess I can do this. This doesn't need to be two. This can only be one. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this. Bada boom, bada bing, and here we are. So I guess I'll put this here. Yeah, so in doing this, I have made a cobblestone generator. So when I break this piece of cobblestone, it'll get burnt up. When I break this piece of cobblestone, I'll pick it up, and then a new one will form. So basically, I'm just going to do that a few times, get a nice little old pickaxe. So now I can do it even faster. But one of my first goals is going to be getting some food, and you can do that by getting some bones, and then I guess apples are going to be our first food source, but they're unreliable. So we'll get some bones from some skeletons, stuff like that. Then we'll break into some bone meal, which will get us some seeds. Then we can get some good old-fashioned wheat and stuff like that. And if we kill some zombies, we can get some potatoes or carrots, that kind of thing. Okay, I'm just going to build a little bit of a platform here, just so I can break this tree, start getting even more wood and stuff like that. But I want to make sure that we don't lose any saplings, because like I said, we have a singular, tree. And if we don't get any saplings to grow another tree, we're out of luck. So, yeah. But I think that's pretty much everything for Skyblock. A little bit of a rundown on this type of map. But I titled this Skyblock session Eclipse Edition, because today, April 8th, sorry, had to confirm, April 8th is the day in which North America had an eclipse that happened. A total eclipse in my area. There was a total eclipse. Um, which is pretty cool and which allows me to basically, use glasses like these and see essentially the moon going right over top of the sun and blocking it out. So much so that none of the sun's UV rays can get past it, making obviously it's dark out in the area where the sun is eclipsed by the moon, but also it makes it so we're able to see the essentially what's called the sun's corona or crown, which is like the atmosphere of the sun, and which is how I believe scientists were actually able to discover that the sun actually has its own atmosphere because you're able to see it when there's an eclipse. And I think that's pretty cool. I think, the whole eclipse business, something pretty special. And I'm so excited to talk about it because it's something that I've learned a lot about recently as the eclipse is coming up. We get eclipses all the time, in the northern and southern hemisphere, eastern, western, all that jazz. Um, the moon actually eclipses the sun every 29 days. Fun fact. But we don't actually see it because we aren't on the right plane. There's various different planes in which the sun has the Earth orbiting around, and the moon orbits the sun. The moon orbits the Earth, and so the moon is blocking the sun if we were behind the moon. But alas, we are not always behind the moon as the moon moves, and so do we, and we spin as well. And yeah, essentially, like today at I want to say it was like 3:18 was like the actual like totality when the sun actually was completely covered from like 3:18 to like 3:22. So there's like a 4-minute gap where the moon is completely covering the sun. But then the rest of the eclipse was from like 2:04 to like 4:31, I think was the time, which is interesting. That you have that kind of like gap where the moon is slowly covering the sun. Got real dark. I saw lots of videos online. My friends and I were sending pictures back and forth. It was really cool. I used my phone and took a picture through the lens here because obviously on any normal day you're not supposed to stare at the sun, and the sun can actually damage some of the electronics in your camera and actually ruin the sensor a little bit, which again, you don't want that. No one wants that. So I use that. It also is easier to kind of like get the eclipse isolated, which is pretty cool. I think the eclipse is something that like we're so fortunate to be able to see because not every planet has a moon that is just the right size, because sometimes the orbit of the moon is like an egg shape, and so the moon's the Earth is here and the moon kind of orbits in kind of like a weird, like it's like close sometimes, but then like sometimes it's like far away. And so essentially we had an eclipse, I think it was October last year, because eclipses are actually like usually like 177 days apart, and we have like two kind of like eclipse seasons on Earth. And so the last eclipse was, oh, I forget the name of it. It's like analogous, I think, or, I forget. But essentially, the eclipse wasn't. It was a total eclipse, but not an eclipse where you can look at it safely, because the moon was actually too far away from the Earth, and so the sun was actually still shining around the rim. I forget the name of it, but it's still still a total eclipse technically, because the moon is, eclipsing the sun, but not an entire eclipse, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, really cool stuff. The next total eclipse that's going to happen in North America, it's going to be 20 years from now, which is a long time. But the next total eclipse in kind of like this hemisphere is going to be in 2 years, and it's going to go over like part of Greenland, and I think all of Iceland, and then a portion of like northern Spain. So it's going to happen in August. I want to say August like 24th, 2026, which is pretty cool. Which means that if you miss this one, you could go and travel, plan accordingly, and be in that area in August. Go to like Iceland, something like that, something fun. A little bit of northern Spain action. Get to see a cool total eclipse. Not really a once in a lifetime thing. Just a if you take the opportunity, you can see eclipses all the time, which is honestly pretty cool. I had never seen like a total eclipse until this year, but really it's just something that I think is pretty cool. I almost actually bought a telescope because I was like, man, like if I get a telescope and like a solar filter, then I can see the sun at any time, and you can see actually sunspots as well on one of those filters and stuff like that, which is in my opinion pretty cool. I think seeing sunspots, I mean, looking at the sun in general is just, mind blowing. That, it's this thing that you're not allowed to like look at usually with one of these filters. You're A-okay. But yeah, I think, we're so fortunate that the sun is so far away. It's 400 times farther than the moon is from the Earth. And the sun just so happens to be 400 times larger than the moon, which means that the moon can like perfectly eclipse it, which is just phenomenal that that's something that's actually possible. And I really appreciate the fact that, we're able to experience something like that, because obviously, something you guys might not know is that the moon is slowly moving away from the Earth every time it does an orbit, like fractionally compared to like how big it is and how close it is, but the moon used to be a lot closer to us, and now the moon is farther away, and eventually the moon might be too far for a total eclipse. Not in any of our lifetimes, but we're fortunate to live in this time period where we can kind of experience these celestial events happening. Another celestial event happening is soon. We won't be able to see, I think it's Saturn's rings. Usually we're able to see them. You got Saturn, it's got its rings, but the rings are just pieces of space rocks floating around in like little orbits around Saturn, but it's flat. It's like a disc, like a ring. In 2025, the ring won't be like facing us so we can see it. Won't be at an angle. It'll be straight on, and so it's so thin that we won't be able to see it anymore. And then it'll rotate again, and we'll be able to see it again. But the rings are going to disappear, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know. I like space. I used to own a telescope. I don't anymore. But yeah, it just, the eclipse is pretty cool, and I think that a lot of people should get the opportunity to see it. I know a lot of people in the US saw it. I saw this like cool little chart that showed a bunch of Airbnb kind of bookings, and kind of like the trend of like all these places are all booked up along the strip of land where the United States was going to be in total, well, the path of totality is what it's called. Where you have the place where the eclipse is visible. Honestly, I don't know much about how all that stuff works. I just see these maps and I'm like, oh, cool. It's not just like a straight line. It's like kind of like curved a little bit, But yeah, the next one, like I said, Iceland, Greenland, in the north of Spain because it has like a nice little U. The next one, I believe that's the next one in the world. I might be wrong, but it's a good 2 years away. So I think it makes sense for it to be like that. All right, I'm gonna try and whoop, that was close. I'm gonna try and do a little spelunking here and get some cobblestone below, so we're able to kind of build and collect the dirt underneath. Also, one thing I love about any kind of game, especially Minecraft, is resource gathering. So that's what I love about Skyblock, is just the ability to just collect all these little goodies, make a bunch of little pieces of cobblestone. Then you're able to use that cobblestone to collect more stuff, and ultimately it gives me restrictions, which allows me to be more creative because everyone starts at the same thing. And then you kind of go from there and you use mineral resources to create something pretty cool. I think I'm gonna break this, but just so you got some more space. Oh, okay. Fortunately, I got some more wood. Boom, 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 boom. This. I'm actually gonna put a backup one in here, just so we have it. Put the wood in here too, in case I lose it. Extra sapling. Our first pickaxe. Go. But yeah, I love Skyblock. Love kind of seeing other creators play when I was younger, and I've always kind of wanted to get the opportunity to play Skyblock on stream, to share my love of Skyblock with the world. A lot of people say it's pretty boring. I agree. It's good if you have someone to talk about. That's why I chose the Eclipse, because again, I think it's pretty cool. I think everyone should get to enjoy it. I know a lot of people didn't know what was happening, and so they're like, why is it getting dark at 3 in the afternoon? What's going on? Especially if you lived in a place of in the path of totality, it got pretty dark. It was like dusk, and it was really cool seeing everyone getting all their little glasses and getting all excited and going to see the eclipse. And what's cool is like you can use these glasses all year round, and you can look at the sun whenever you want, and say screw you to anyone who says don't look at the sun, because guess what, you can. You just gotta take precautions. But yeah, I love me some good old-fashioned eclipses. Some cool thing. I mean, I don't know, I love the sun and the moon, as they give us life and light. But I think it's pretty fun to just be able to experience these things. I said earlier, I used to have a telescope. I used to use it to look at the moon. It was always pretty cool. I was able to see the craters, and like I had a microscope as well. I had the two further ends of the scopes. You got the micro and the tele. I'm seeing the moon. I'm seeing little tiny. Well, at the time it wasn't a very powerful microscope, so it was I could see the different kind of like red, green, and blue ink on different like printed things. I was looking at like my fingernails, stuff like that. I was like, oh, look at that, looking like an ant or something. I'm like, whoa, it's got a mean face. But yeah, really cool to see the two extremes, and like binoculars as well. I got all those things. I got those lenses. I got lenses now, man. I'm living a life of bent light. But yeah, it was cool. Saw some kids, with these things, and they're freaking out. They're like, whoa. I also, fair warning, they say don't look at the sun. I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. Put on the Eclipse glasses, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Took them off, and I was talking, and then I looked and I blinded myself because I kind of forgot that the whole don't look at the sun applied to me anymore. I was like, I'm good, I'm safe. And then I just forgot I wasn't wearing the Eclipse glasses, and it was a little bright. I was worried because there's been a lot of warnings on the news and stuff like that about like, hey, the eclipse is happening, don't look at the sun, you know, because you're going to want to. It's going to be dimmer, and it's still going to be, you know, 10,000 times as bright as any kind of moonlight, if there's any, you know, sun still showing. So yeah, don't do it. Don't burn your eyes. Because I know a lot of people, like, if they have eclipse glasses that aren't the proper, like, safety rating, because, like, there's, like, a specific rating on here. It's like the, like, ISO foundation, and it's ISO 12312-2, and that's, like, the specific kind of filter level that you're supposed to have on your glasses. And I know some places like Amazon, they warn, hey, don't go on Amazon unless it's like a reputable buyer, because they could be lying. But the whole eclipse glasses kind of what's it called, the kind of credentials they have, you know. And if someone's lying about that, they could, you know, seriously harm some people. And you might not realize that your glasses could be harmful to you. But a lot of people won't realize it. Like, they'll be wearing the glasses. They're like, okay, this is cool. You know, I can see the sun and whatever. But if you have any, like, scratches or, oh, hey, Josie, how's it going? I'm just talking about eclipse glasses. But yeah, back to eclipse glasses. You know, when you when you wear eclipse glasses, and they're not the proper, like, rating, you won't notice it until, like, hours later, because then your eyes get like a sunburn, essentially, which is pretty scary. So that was definitely something in the back of my mind while I was, like, watching the eclipse today. I was like, I don't want to hurt my eyes. I don't want to, you know, like, damage anything like that, you know, because I like my eyes, you know. I wear glasses, but I still like them. You know, these eyes have got me through my entire life, and I want to keep them. But yeah, it's pretty scary when you have something like that. And, you know, I read a lot of horror stories online about people hurting themselves with their glasses and not realizing that they had, like, a pinhole or, like, a scratch in them. And so, dangerous times. You know, you gotta watch out for that kind of stuff. But yeah, especially with Amazon, you know, they could be misleading you with their products, and you wouldn't even realize, because they advertise them as safe for an eclipse, but it's not safe. Let it be known, it is not safe. But yeah, I'm just gonna extend this a little bit more, just so we have more sapling protection from them falling down. I don't really know what my plan is for this island right now. I think my first plan is to, you know, get rid of all the dirt, you know, replace it with cobblestone and places for the trees to grow. For the most part, I think I'm just gonna try and maybe keep it, like, circular, and make this kind of like the, like, center. Maybe I'll, like, throw, like, the cobblestone generator and make, like, a similar, how do I have it here, but I'll have, you know, this block be the bedrock, so it's not breakable. And then I'll make, like, a path over here. We'll get some cactuses, you know, we'll get some food, hopefully. Make a little monster grinder. Yeah, I think we'll be set from there. But for now, more of the, actually, I want to preserve some of the grass as well, because grass is good for animals. So maybe I'll do this. I'll maybe I'll keep, like, this section grass. Yeah, okay. I gotta chop down this tree and plant another tree. Maybe I'll plant one here. Boom, 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 boom. I was thinking about doing it in hardcore, but I decided not to, just because it's going to be a lot of hours, you know, thrown into this with no real kind of security. Like, I might fall off, I might get, you know, hit by, you know, a skeleton phantom, you know, something like that. Blown up by a creeper, starved to death. I will probably starve to death pretty soon, just because I have no food source. But yeah, I think I'll keep planting stuff. Plant stuff here. Oh wait, neither is sapling. I shall wait. Yeah. In the meantime, oh shoot, I forgot. Ooh. Fix that real quick. Forgot I didn't have something here. Okay, here we go. But yeah, Skyblock, pretty cool stuff. Pretty excited to get into this. But yeah, this is basically just like a just talking stream, you know, with a whole lot of Minecraft involved. I also, as you can see in the background, I saw Dune and the new Ghostbusters. I got to their popcorn buckets because I thought it would be pretty funny to have some weird little popcorn buckets. And trust me, the Dune one, you know, good old meme. The Slimer bucket, no, not as well known, but still kind of, you know, still kind of out there. Maybe I'll... Here's Slimer. He is very creepy. And he's got a big old mouth for some good old popcorn. And he's also got a butt, you know? As I have been told, is a staple of the Slimer character. Yeah. We love Slimer in this household. Both movies were pretty good. I like Dune. Dune Part 2 is pretty good. You know, not a huge fan. I love the books. I've read all of them. I've actually got them. But yeah. Dune Part 2 was still fantastic, you know. And I think that has to do with like Denis Villeneuve's kind of dedication to using like practical effects as much as possible. Yeah, booty cheeks. Slimer's got some booty cheeks. Yeah. And you know, the new Ghostbusters has really been dedicated to accuracy, using a lot of like the old models and stuff like that. So yeah, Slimer definitely has Slimer's been pretty good, especially in the new movie. He shows up a couple times, and he's got his classic, you know, little butt out, you know, gross, grimy. Good old analogy for gluttony, perhaps. Who's to say? I think I might get another stack of cobblestone, and then I might tear out the rest of this and replace it with cobblestone, or actually maybe I'll just keep the dirt in a box, make the grass grow a little bit further this way. Maybe I'll do some renovations, make this into like a circle kind of situation. But yeah, lots of plans, but not a lot of resources as of right now. More, I almost said pineapple. More cactus growth, you know. They both got, you know, prickly bits on the outside. But yeah. Pretty cool, pretty interesting. We know so much about eclipses that we're able to stop that. We're able to predict when eclipses will occur for, as far as we know, forever. We know kind of when they are supposed to occur. We can, you know, see how often the sun and the moon and the earth all line up properly. We're able to kind of extrapolate that, you know, in perpetuity. And so we're able to see, you know, when the next eclipse is, when the next partial eclipses are going to be, you know, when the next total eclipses are going to be, when they're going to appear in the United States or across North America, or Canada in general, this, that, whatever, which is pretty cool. And we've known that since I want to say at least 208 BC. So it's been, rough 2,200 years, give or take, 50 years. But yeah, pretty cool stuff to be able to, know how often eclipses happen, so many years ago. There's a poem by Lord Byron. He wrote, I believe, in 1818 or 1814. It's called Darkness. And when I first read it, I thought it was referencing an eclipse. And in a way it was. There was an eclipse during that time period, but in South America, a volcano had exploded and ash was covering the sky for the entire summer for a good, 2 months. There was no kind of there was no kind of sunlight. It was a dark summer, and Byron wrote a poem about it. Pretty famous poem, aptly named Darkness. And yeah, I'd imagine obviously people during those times were like, it's the end times, we've got months of darkness. I mean, if today's eclipse was anything to go by, that'd be pretty scary, not knowing what's going on, not having all this information at your fingertips, knowing like what's happening. I know eclipses make animals act real weird. Some birds will just oh, it's dark out, and just land. So like all the birds are just like, it's too dark to fly. I know some animals will be like, oh, the sun's setting, time to go in, it's nighttime, let me go to the barn, something like that. But Galapagos turtles, I know, when there's an eclipse happening, they're like, all right, time to mate. So they just start getting a little freaky, and that's their response to I guess the apocalypse. But yeah, there's also, so like, I mean, there's solar eclipses, there's also lunar eclipses where the earth is in front of the moon during one of those like eclipses, and so the moon is kind of completely blacked out by the earth and is actually like illuminated like orange or red sometimes during this. So it's called like a blood moon, or like I always forget if it's a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, mostly because like eclipses always involve the moon and the sun, and so I can't remember which one's which. That's why I'm like, it's a total eclipse today. Yeah, I want to say it's a solar eclipse when the moon is covering the sun, and it's a lunar eclipse when the earth is covering the moon. But yeah, still very cool, not as cool as the sun, the all-powerful sun, getting covered up by our little old moon. But yeah, cool nonetheless. I'm gonna die from doing that. I need to stop jumping in here. I just want to collect all the cobblestone. Oh, okay. Looks like I do have my my other stack, so I think I'll put some work into actually. I think I'm gonna make a furnace. I'm gonna burn a little bit of sticks, a little bit of wood. I think 2 sticks should be good to get 1 piece of charcoal, and then we can, yeah, there we go. And we can use that to, I'm gonna make 2 pieces of charcoal after that. I'm gonna use it to actually maybe I'll do 3. I'll do 3. I'm gonna use that to make some good old-fashioned torches, so we don't have to worry about light and stuff like that. I'm gonna make a charcoal shovel, actually. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm a little worried about phantom spawning and also other monsters of the night. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start taking all this stuff down. I guess I could also make sure that everything below here, that's what I thought. Gotta make sure that's all set up and prepared. And I'm not worried about breaking all this stuff because I got some grass here. Yeah. Yeah, I've been learning tons about eclipses, tons about, what's going on, what's happening with everything. I mean, that's always, the case for me. Something happens and I'm like, all right, time to learn as much as I can about it. That was a little scary. I'll put this water here. Take this lava, put it like here. Cover it up a little bit so I don't trip on it. Actually, I have another Skyblock world going. I've had it for a while, but I wanted to start one on stream, and this will probably become my main one, unless I want to play a little bit offline. I love it so much fun. Yeah, I might also bring this down, this chest. Boom. All right. Yeah, it was interesting. There was where I live, I wasn't in the zone of totality. But there's a couple other places, like obviously in the United States, there's like a bunch of places. Less so in Canada. But it was still interesting just seeing like where the eclipse was gonna be. And there's a couple places that like they like noted they're like major cities that it's like, oh, it's gonna be in these cities. And it wasn't. I don't know what that was about. But it's like, oh, it's gonna be in like this like major city, it's gonna be in like Toronto, it's gonna be in like Montreal. And it wasn't. It was below Montreal, but I don't know. I guess those are just like big cities that people know in Canada, so they're like, yeah. That's all Canada is, just those big cities. I don't know. I've never been to Montreal. I want to go at some point. But I think it would be pretty fun to visit Montreal. Got some cool Canadian history in Montreal. So if I want to have, I'm actually going to just make a little point here. Boom, boom, boom. I'll extend this out. A little further. Yeah, Montreal's got some pretty cool Canadian history in it. Just give me a sec. But yeah, Montreal got some cool Canadian history because Quebec is actually where a lot of Canadian history, lives, because Quebec was one of the first places settled by, the French. And the French were the first, Europeans to come to Canada, which is why I think Quebec has the National History Museum, which is pretty cool. Been there myself. I just couldn't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's a pretty neat place. I've enjoyed going there. Quebec and Ottawa have a lot of like the, best kind of museums in Canada. I'm a big museum guy, as you probably can tell by just looking at me. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and so that's the National Gallery. In Ottawa, they got like a cool museum there for some of the nation's art and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I'll maybe like extend it one more. Send it out 6. Just so we have that. Kind of have like a round area. Yeah. Big fan of Canadian history. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty boring and pretty recent. We don't have any like really cool wars or anything like that. But we've got some good stuff. A lot of politics, as I guess is what most of history is. 7, I might trim this a little bit and then make another section for growing trees. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, sir. 6. Maybe I'll trim this a little bit here. Boop, boop. What's happening over here? What do these corners look like? That. Is that good? Yeah. Oh, you know what I should add? I should add like a mini map mod. So I can have all this kind of see from above. That's okay. That's fine and dandy. No worries about that. Not one bit. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have probably the farm here. Be very big. Water going to there. So we'll have lava here. Plug that up a little bit. So we have lava. Boom, boom. Water here. Grab another cobblestone. Actually, I'm gonna do some pro gamer moves. Right. Make some stairs. Something like this. You know what? I'm gonna grab some water. Boom, boom. Put water in there to make a waterlogged stair. I'm going to do a little bit of this. Nothing too crazy. Won't look very nice from the underside, but at least we know that it's, you know, good here. I miscalculated. Okay. Hold on a sec. Well, because I don't want it to be here. Hold on. Because I've put the water here. There we go. There we go. I actually... Hold on. Yeah, okay. So when they touch here, it's gonna... Yeah, because I don't... Obviously, I don't want this one here, because then that's gonna turn into obsidian. But I gotta move this one back. You think I'd know by now. You think me, and or the prince, king of Skyblock, would know a thing or two about Skyblock. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put that there. Make sure that still doesn't look ugly. No, this looks pretty good. We're gonna pop that down there. Pop this here. We're gonna boom, boom. So there we go. Yeah, that's fine like that. And we're also gonna put a stair, you know, here, so we can still have access to the lava, grab whenever we need to, but we can't, you know, get hurt by it. That's my pro Skyblock maneuver. I think I want to go one more lower here. Oh, didn't want that. That's okay. Just got a good amount of water. There we go. And do more here. It's pretty good. I'm actually gonna drain this water real quick, just because I don't want the double situation here. Yeah, so we got this. Got a little bit of this. So I think I'm gonna do this and just have a nice little staircase up and out. Maybe I should do like a corner staircase. Yeah, I think I will. Just to preserve space and everything. There we go. And then we'll be able to just, you know, mine here. Got a nice tree in the background. Beauty. And I'm out of sprint. I'm low on food. You know what? I'm gonna treat myself to a little bit of an axe. I love chopping down trees. I love chopping, you know, down many types of woods in Minecraft. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start on next is gonna be like a triple wide little pathway over here. It's gonna be a little starter section. I'm gonna move this way and kind of have. I don't know how far away I should make this. I mean, I only have so much dirt, so I can't make it too big. Oh, there's a chest. Ah, that'll have some food actually. So maybe I'll go there first. Seems pretty fun. Okay. The next time a tree grows, I'll chuck another thing down there. Grab some stuff over there. Maybe I'll make a little farm. Ooh, you know what? I need water here for a farm temporarily. So I think I'll, you know, chop out a little bit of stuff over here. You know, I should have just made this whole island double thick. I think that's what I'll do for the next islands. Just it prevents against creepers, you know, big holes and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. A little ahead of myself, but I want to make sure I have enough dirt and stuff. Get a farm going. I'll grab some cobblestone slabs and away we go. Put them on the bottom so mobs don't spawn. Yeah. Honestly, I could see this like shadow here. I'm sure you guys can see it too well. I thought it was something on my monitor, and I was like, "What's up with that?" Little bit of a, as they say, a kink in the hose. But yeah. I guess to kind of wrap up the stream, one of my friends was talking to me today, talking about they're like, you know, you should get a telescope, you know, be get into astrology. And I was like, that's okay. I already know my horoscope. They're like, what? Because astrology is kind of the stars and their kind of impact on kind of human lives, while astronomy is kind of the measurement and, you know, kind of observance of stars. So a telescope is not very good for learning about where stars. Telescope's not very good for learning about what stars mean. They're good for learning where stars are. I'm gonna borrow this, just a little borrowing of some water, so I can grab some stuff over here. But yeah. I was a little worried. I didn't want to like activate anything, or else the water might have affected this. I bathed the block, and the whole thing would have just went thunk, and I would have suffered. Okay, so I think there we go. That should be good. Now, hopefully, I have enough. I think I do. There's not too much sand here. We're just gonna build a little platform over here. Boom. Boom, boom. And some nice little girders, some might say. Okay, this should be good. Here we go. Did I did it wrong. It was supposed to, okay. What was supposed to happen was it was supposed to drop, and usually when they drop onto a half slab like this, I made a mistake. They drop on a half slab like this, they break. So I was hoping to break everything. It's fine, I'll do it manually, but either way, you know, I got all the sand, which is quite important. You know, not dissing that. No way, no how. But in here we've got obsidian, which will let us go to the nether, which will let us get more things, access to gold and other items through piglins and stuff like that. Also probably another chest in the nether. I forget what this map is like, but I think that's the case typically. But yeah, I think I will use the melon slice to get some seeds. Grab this. Pop. Grab some of that. I'm going to go back here. Put this here. We're going to probably... ooh, there might be some mobs spawning over there. We'll be fine. Grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Boom, bing, pow. We'll use this here. Use this to do this. Now I've got a nice little AFK spot. I can be, you know, not worried about anything. No real monsters and stuff like that. So yeah. Now I can put a... actually, I'm going to trample this. I think. Right? Actually, yeah, we'll put this here. We'll trample these ones as well. And then later I can throw another one here. Probably another melon because pumpkins aren't too helpful right now for us. But yeah, with that planted, these ready to go, we'll craft another pickaxe. Oh, good thing I had a spare. So I can chop some these. I don't know why I'm calling it chopping. Mine some of that. Grab some of these. Make a spare. And away we go. Ready to grind out into the night. But with that, you know, all said and done, those little pieces put together, I think I'm going to call it a night. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, folks. I appreciate you listening to me talk about the eclipse, something I'm a little passionate about today. Relevant, you know, current events, celestial events. You know how it is. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of this because I love Skyblock and I'm sure this will be something that I play and stick around with a while. So, peace out, folks.